Awful title.
Yeah.
Hot take.
The galaxy has heard of mysterious broadcast. General Leia Organa against the diabolical First Order. Destroy any threat to his power. ...
He does the choke slam, which slaps.
I wish I could see it in real motion.
This is Mustafar, by the way. This planet.
Yes, it is.
That's sick!
Why did he moonwalk, though? That seems unnecessary.
Through fire.
Rule of cool, baby.
Alright, but like the art direction of all three movies, though. I'm so glad I was alive to see these in theaters.
I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head.
That is such a cool reveal! Everything that's like happening to him as far as his arc, as far as like towards the light side in this movie, it's totally much more plausible because of his manipulation by Palpatine.
This is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Straight up like a quote from the prequels, too.
It is. You know, poetry doesn't rhyme. It foreshadows awkwardly. He had to bury those ships.
Yeah, but it's a cool reveal, so it's okay. Rule of cool, baby.
So why did Palpatine wait until Snoke was killed?
I think that was like Kylo crossing the threshold, maybe. Like, now he's ready.
Oh, he's groomed his next Darth Vader. Okay, that's so fucking cool.
Yep.
Maybe. I'm not really sure. It's kind of vague, but that's my theory.
That's probably accurate.
Historically, he's great at manipulating Skywalkers, so...
What are you doing? Light speed skipping! How do you know?
It's weird how they always end up in a planet when doing this, and not just in
Or like
deep space.
a place with like really big spears. That's so cool.
I'm shocked more Jedi don't levitate.
I love just the little flip. Oh, God, here we go.
Starting to think it isn't possible to hear the voices of the Jedi who came before.
Nothing's impossible.
Okay, that wasn't so bad.
That wasn't that bad.
That worked.
Yep.
Always trust a droid.
She responded to everything that was said to her.
Technically, because the dialogue was written around what Leia said.
100%. I'm so excited for 8-Ball Leia. Can't you just give me good news? Ask again later. Oh shit, I'm a Palpatine.
It looks like I'm making excuses.
Don't tell me what things look like. Tell me what they are.
Nope. That doesn't work.
Getting further away.
Further.
General, the Falcon still hasn't arrived. Commander's asking for guidance.
No response.
B-roll of her just staring.
No, you can't do it for me.
Never underestimate a droid.
Ugh.
Nothing to do with what they were talking about.
It's also weird because, like, you know they shot Daisy Ridley talking to no one and going, blah, 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 wait, turn around, yes, master.
It's like, how are you? Oh, nothing much.
Exactly.
Kind of makes sense.
I like birds. Do you swim?
What'd you do to the Falcon?
Falcon's a lot better shape than he is.
BB-8's not on...
I disagree. Falcon's on fire.
BB-8's not on fire, is what she just said.
See, this is what I've been missing in all the other movies, is this camaraderie. Why don't they have this?
Camaraderie.
These three talking to each other and interacting.
Yes, because...
Should have been the past two movies.
Camaraderie's a strong word for what
This
they
is
have.
like us when we do a movie review.
Yeah.
Rose was in one scene so far, for 3 seconds.
Oh, there she is. There she is again, but she's out of focus.
So Palpatine's been out there all this time, pulling the strings.
No, not until this movie.
Can I speak with you?
No.
No.
It is actually impossible. You can speak next to her.
That's the real reason she's been trying to meditate and find the voice of the Jedi.
She wants to find the voice of Leia at all.
Find Exegol. Find the Emperor.
No.
Wait, that was just... No!
I will.
She didn't say anything!
It's what you would do.
Hang on. And scene over. All she said was no.
She said one word!
Yo, I might have to leave.
What? Ray is just talking out loud, waiting, and then speaking more, as Carrie also says nothing.
There's so much I want to tell you.
Tell me when you get back.
It worked! The 8-Ball sometimes answers correctly.
I feel like there should have been more in between this. This feels very, very fast.
This whole movie's very, very fast.
Never be afraid of who you are.
But I'm a Palpatine. Be afraid then.
Be very afraid. Be anyone else except who you
Master
are.
Leia, I didn't ask anything. No, it's fine.
Outlook unclear, Ray.
You know who I would have rather than brought instead of 3PO? Rose.
Yeah, same.
It's Sundance Planet.
It's Coachella. It is a COVID-19 pandemic waiting to break out.
I'm Ray.
Skywalker.
Palpatine.
Skywalker. Palpatine. Skywalker.
I really like...
They're really beating you over the head with the fact that she's a Palpatine in this movie.
I do really like how in this part of the movie she says, I don't have one, and at the end she says Skywalker, though. See, that's really good.
That's the coolest thing in the world.
The fuck is this? Analyze it.
We've had this analyzed. It comes from the Midian system.
Yeah. Analyze the water on my face. Dude, I'd love to be rescued by Billy D with a crossbow.
Like in real life, yeah.
Yeah.
So there is now a Star Wars Just Lando trilogy that one could watch.
Yeah, episodes 5, 6, and 9.
Yep.
Excuse me, Solo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Quadrology.
And here's the best part.
Luke and I were telling an old Jedi hunter.
Luke and Lando do not share a single line of dialogue in the original trilogy.
Luke and Lando show with Donald Glover and Sebastian Stan.
They fly now! They fly now? They fly now!
Dude, okay, jetpacks have been a thing in Star Wars for a while.
Yeah, the rocket troopers have jetpacks, don't they?
Yeah, Boba Fett had a jetpack, alright? This should not be shocking.
They have the best camaraderie in this. I stand by that.
They do. Because
Well, that's because they interact at all.
Yeah, I can't say that Rey and Poe have any camaraderie in the other two movies because they don't meet.
They met once, and they said,
Rey and
"Hi,
Finn
I'm
have
Rey."
good camaraderie in Force Awakens.
They do.
Not a lot of camaraderie in Jedi.
They don't meet ever. They
Wow.
only meet during the final scene.
So Rian Johnson doesn't have any camaraderie. It's just Poe flipping out.
Yeah.
That's all of episode 8. At least this feels like the trilogy, and not just because they're like, you know, paying all kinds of tributes and all kinds of stuff. Like, they're actually channeling what made that first movie so fun.
Rey, I never told you when!
Rey, you're a Palpatine!
Any words from Rey?
Falcon's not responding.
Do you have to say it like that?
Like what?
Do me a personal favor. Be optimistic.
Oh no!
What the fuck was that?
Jesus.
Even Rose's line didn't make any sense. Any word from Rey. The Falcon's not responding. Don't say it like that. Don't say it like what?
He said it normal.
A scene should either, like, add to the story or be humorous or something, and it was none of that.
Yeah, they really needed to keep Rose away from the main group so that they could have that scene.
Yep.
Let me ask this.
I believe
why
that,
couldn't,
though.
Why? No, I don't agree with
No,
that at
that's
all. Because
bullshit.
why couldn't that have just been Billy Lord's character?
Common emblem of Sith loyalists.
Sith.
That's a Mercedes.
That is definitely Mercedes.
It is written in the runic language of the Sith.
So what?
My programming forbids me from translating it.
Anakin Skywalker, young Anakin Skywalker,
Yup.
who built this droid to help his mom do dishes and shit,
Yup.
programmed C-3PO not to translate the Sith runes.
Perhaps over the course between episode 1 and episode 9, someone programmed him.
C-3PO worked as a translator in the Galactic Senate.
Yes, okay, cool, awesome. We have a way out.
He was Padme's assistant droid.
That would mean that they would probably get rid of the
But
Sith.
then,
Oh, no.
at the end of episode 3, Bale said have the protocol droid's memories wiped. However, he'd probably still adhere to Galactic Senate laws at the time.
Ah, okay, so it all makes sense.
It's still...
It doesn't make sense.
It only
It's
doesn't
not
make-
that it doesn't make sense, it's that it's
It's just so
dumb.
convoluted.
It's so
The
dumb.
only problem I have with it is in episode 1. I don't like that Anakin built C-3PO.
Yeah, that's stupid too. That's cool.
That is cool.
It is very cool.
Makes total sense. I have no issue with it.
Same.
Yep. It's
It's a reasonable thing for the Force to be able to do.
cool power.
And it's hinted that other characters have used it before too.
Yep.
That was like a video game thing though. Ah, we cleared it now that the door's open.
Alright, so Mud and I have talked about this in the past. I asked him, why is Star Wars so popular and successful when everyone agrees that half of the movies suck? And he replied to me, everyone agrees that half of them suck. The problem is they disagree which half of the movies suck.
Yeah.
And I think that really holds
Some people
true.
think Episode 6 sucks.
Some people...
Episode 6 is good.
Yeah.
There are people who think Episode 6 is bad. Like, they exist.
The only bad scene in that movie is the fucking Jedi rock at the beginning.
Hell, in this room, I hate episode 3 and you guys like it. Like,
Yeah.
it's disagreements.
Episode
Even
3
us,
is
who-
great.
I
all three of
really
us
like
usually-
Episode 8. You two think it's okay.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we all gave it the same score. Or
I gave it
BJ
7.
gave it the same
Yeah.
score.
Yep.
Or like Rogue One. I really like Rogue One.
I also did.
I think it's
Ian doesn't.
useless.
Solo. I don't really care for it.
It's
you guys
fine.
think it's good?
I think it's pretty solid. Well, because each movie is so different from the last.
Yeah.
Unless they're in the same trilogy. But
Even this whole trilogy is so disjointed.
Seriously, watching all these back to back to back,
None of these movies belong in the same trilogy.
they just
I disagree. There are a handful of plot lines that steer in different directions. However, these movies are very much within each other.
I think
And they very much tell one story.
It's got an identity crisis. It doesn't
Yeah.
know what it wants to be.
It definitely is one story, but they all feel wildly different for some reason.
I would agree in the sense of Rey and her character, but in pretty much nothing else.
A common criticism of Episode 9 is that like people are like, well, you just kind of walked back on everything in Episode 8, and Episode 8 walks back on a lot of stuff in Episode 7. So it just
I don't think Episode 8 walks back on 7. I think it
It's-
diverted from Episode
yeah,
7.
it was diverted, but people don't like that. And I think it would have worked better for her story if she wasn't a Palpatine.
I agree with that. However, I would say that it still makes sense that she is a Palpatine.
Remember how we were talking about J.J. Abrams goes for real cool?
It'd be really cool if I did a backflip over a TIE fighter and disabled it. Why was he flying full tilt at her?
To run her over? Even though he's not on the ground, you can just duck?
They got Chewie!
Finn yells he got Chewie after seeing one of the carriers rise over the rock. Okay.
But we don't see the second one.
More plausible now that I'm rewatching it.
I'm fine, thank you for asking.
Yeah! He's like, what the fuck?
We gotta go! They're coming!
I'm a hell of a pilot. Put me in charge. What's the plan? Blow it up.
He knows the situation, and he was pushing her to see it for himself.
It's a lot more clever when you watch it a second time.
I know. There's a lot going on.
Do you think Poe's a good character in this movie?
No.
Okay.
Still no.
Just double checking.
They gave him a backstory, but...
They gave him a backstory at the end of the trilogy.
Yep. Here's the toy. Your children should buy this.
Oh, Dio.
You know what it reminds me of, this entire movie? You know how Dr. Sleep the movie was an adaptation of the book, but also a sequel to the movie Shining?
And they had to, like, compromise, and it makes it a little...
It's like a hybrid sequel story to both?
Yeah.
That's what this is doing for 7 and 8.
Yeah, that's really good, because it's them trying to pander to the absolute backlash that 8 got, while also continuing on the story of 8, while also trying to course correct back to what 7 originally intended, while at the same time wrapping up the story.
I think all things considered, they did a decent job.
Absolutely.
They did better than Dr. Sleep, which sucked.
Heard you were spotted at Monk's Gate.
Don't shoot our North Face jackets, they're so new.
Oscar Isaac is an amazing actor, though.
Yes,
he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He really shines in this film.
You were a space runner? You were a stormtrooper?
Were you a spice runner?
Were you a scavenger? We could do this all night.
Scavenger is objectively a step down than Stormtrooper and drug dealer.
How long's it been like this?
First Order took most of the kids a long time ago.
World building outside of the main cast.
Yep.
You know, the colonies have blocked hyperlanes.
It's
That's
world
interesting.
building, but it also adds to the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is what good world building does.
Exactly.
Which I really feel like we haven't gotten in the other 2 movies.
See, the thing about the prequels that I like is... don't get me wrong, I fucking hate the prequels. There's a lot of lore, a lot of world building, and that's all there is.
Yeah.
Those are the good parts.
Yeah.
Those are the parts.
It's either Anakin bitching about sand or world building. I feel like if we had the world building of the prequels and the fun of these movies, they'd be the best Star Wars movies.
That's one of the reasons that 9 stands out to me as like one of the better of the trilogy, because it does both. And it's being really fun while doing it instead of being boring.
Yeah.
Or annoying or nonsensical or dumb. Like it's working the way it is.
From the southern shore, only this blade tells.
So one of my criticisms of 9 was that she happened to be in the exact spot where the blade lined up with the tip pointed to the thing.
But she knew
they told her where to go.
Yeah, they knew what direction.
It says from the southern shore that you still need to be in a very specific spot for that to work. She still has her primary weapon as that stick. I don't understand.
It's a good weapon.
It's a nice stick.
It is a nice stick. I'll give her that.
Very well made.
It's a well-made stick. It's got some grooves in there.
Yeah, why? I didn't even notice this when we saw it in theaters. Why the fuck does she still have her staff? It's clunky.
Ray, come on.
The dagger's on this ship. We need it.
She has the most acute force sense of anyone I've ever seen. Mace Windu and Yoda couldn't sense that the Palpatine was the Emperor. Rey is like, the dagger is 3 stories below us, 2 buildings down.
Do you remember
2 doors over?
Do you remember the animated Clone Wars where Obi-Wan couldn't sense that Count Dooku was fucking behind him?
Find them. Go.
Here, take my staff. It's your best weapon.
Get me the Supreme Leader.
Yes, sir.
Tell him we found our spy.
What if he got it wrong?
That would've been funny as fuck.
Educated guess.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd have shot Hux. I hate him.
I don't think Kylo would have blamed him.
You would have been like, oh no, we shot Hux. What a problem.
Who'd you shoot? You're promoted.
Ray, I know you.
People keep telling me they know me. I'm afraid no one does.
Not even the directors of the series.
This dagger was made after the explosion.
After the Death Star fell, and someone thought, hey, that rock won't move for like, decades. So let's carve this dagger from where someone could stand in this exact spot.
You were First Order?
Not by choice.
This would have been really awesome in episode 8.
You could have made her the character that he goes along and does all these wacky adventures with in episode 8.
Well, I'm not Leia. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he has a point.
Yeah, you're reacting to what I'm saying.
Is this the only thing in this vault? How much cool shit do you think should actually be in this? No, like, stolen goods, no
Sith artifacts.
No Sith artifacts besides a holocron. This is Palpatine creating, like, a Luke Force Ghost, right?
Yes. Yeah, they really needed Rose for this shot.
This really important sequence.
Standing in the background.
The way they hold the lightsaber and fight changes throughout the fight.
Yes.
So the angrier she gets, the more like Kylo she fights, and then he starts getting less and less angry. And he starts fighting.
That power is so cool.
It is.
They should use it way more often. It's weird because you got John Williams back to score the 9th one, and you don't put score now.
No, I really like the
I think it
crashing
works
of the
better
waves.
without it.
Yes.
This scene in particular works better without a score.
Yes. I love the crashing of the waves. It makes it feel so epic and impactful.
I don't know. Whenever they clash, I miss the score. I wonder why it's not there.
And you see her start to use Kylo's tricks.
Like that.
And you see Kylo start to use Kylo's tricks.
Finally, Kylo used Kylo's tricks.
She's holding it backhanded now.
Kylo left himself open a lot of times. Like then.
He's T-posing.
I feel so bad for Chewie. Everyone he loves just dies.
It's true. Which is in the inverse of the EU, where Chewbacca died first.
Look at this Chewbacca. He's just torn up. Everyone he loves is just
now
dead.
all I have is Lando.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh, great. I get Poe.
C-3PO, it's okay, Chewie. I am still here.
Rips his head off. Hey, kid. I don't want to be here, but they paid me a lot of money.
My son is alive.
Oh, this is exactly their conversation over the bridge. I didn't realize that.
Run him through with a lightsaber again.
It just goes through nothing.
Goes through himself, he kills himself. It's like me in Total Recall. Ah, difficult decision. Better commit suicide. My lord, what is the plan this time?
Blow up a planet!
Sir, do you have any other ideas?
Execute Order 67.
As we near the end of the movie,
yes,
I feel as though I must share a hot take that has developed over the course of this movie. I still think this movie would have worked if Rey wasn't a Palpatine.
I agree.
I also agree.
In the sense that Palpatine killed her parents?
That still works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's still fine. I think it would have been cool if Palpatine was just like, yo, this little girl
is powerful as fuck.
Powerful in the Force. That's all it needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I still think the movie kind of works. Sorry, I needed to pause for the utter badassery that was.
I really like, again, the dichotomy between her and Kylo. Kylo threw the lightsaber because he realized he was too good for it. She thought she wasn't good enough for it and tried to throw it in the fire.
He threw it into water, she threw it into fire.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Yeah, fantastic parallels. I'm shocked that Rey and Kylo's arc and dynamic, one of the best in the entire saga,
was consistent in such a...
The best. I'm saying it.
Leia knew it too.
Why didn't you say anything?
She didn't tell me.
Last movie.
She didn't tell you because she can't speak in this movie.
Shut the
That
fuck
wasn't
up.
one of the preloaded answers. Sure, you're the granddaughter of Emperor Palpatine. Who fucking cares? Technically speaking, Leia's the daughter of Darth Vader. Yo, green lightsaber. No, no one cares where that went. I love this sequence so much.
Now we can play our electric guitar at full volume.
Marty McFly is gonna get blasted across the room.
It's gonna play Sabotage like in Star Trek.
That's a good scene.
It's a terrible
That's
scene.
a good scene, you're
It's
wrong.
so stupid.
It's so good. So many ships. There's an absurd amount of ships.
I love it.
Oh,
It's so dumb. I think that's all the metal in the Star Wars universe.
that's a really good shot.
There's a better title. Star Wars Episode 9, The Final Order. Are there more ships in this than there were Smiths in The Matrix?
No.
I think they're comparable.
No. There are 7 billion Smiths in The Matrix 3.
No one is coming to help them.
I mean, Palpatine's just fucking lying at that point. Where'd those guards come from?
They walked out of the...
Yeah,
thing.
probably out of the big crowd.
Yeah.
No?
They were chilling.
I don't think that crowd's real. I think it's like some weird, like, Sith apparition.
I mean...
You know what's sick?
This.
Black sweater Kylo Ren.
I agree.
Rose, go!
Rose, you're almost at your time limit for screen time.
Ooh, gotcha. It's behind your ear.
Ooga booga booga. Oh, that was so cool.
More of that, please.
He's still got a hole in his shirt. He didn't even change. Oh my god, you're made out of cocaine.
I'd feel bad for the CGI artist who had to render all these objects.
The ones in the back are not rendered.
Fair.
They are dots.
It's a lot of objects, though, to export.
That was so much fun. I love him
know.
to death, man.
Look what you have made.
It's
love it.
beautiful. Honestly,
Love it.
man.
I also love it.
I love his design in this movie.
So good.
The eyes really get me.
If anything, this movie needs more Palpatine.
Yeah. I never noticed how much he's not in this.
So falls the last Skywalker.
Actually, I'm a solo.
Oh shit.
Here we go.
He said Plutonius.
Space boost.
It's just a deep fried meme.
It's a deep fried meme right here.
It's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Rise and take them.
Ray, don't forget the.
Yes. Ah, that is the scene that makes me happy.
That scene is sick as fuck. I'm not even the world's biggest Star Wars fan, because I know who like half those people were. But,
I know
like,
who all those people were, and
it is sick.
After he puts his hands down, that's her lightning. Because look where it comes from on him. Boom, from his chest. That's her. She's fucking him up.
It was coming out of the lightsabers.
Yep, she's channeling it.
Good work, Ray.
Good work, all the Jedi. Probably channeling all that lightning through herself and then pushing it back takes a lot of
Force.
I was gonna say it and then stopped. Let the past die. Brings her back to life.
So sweet, because she'd always reach out to Ben.
I like that little
Yeah.
detail that she's like the only one who ever calls him Ben.
Yeah.
Except Han right before he died. He
Yeah.
yelled Ben.
Yeah, and look where that got him.
Honestly, this kiss in context is not the worst.
I'm fine with it.
It's more of gratitude, I feel. Well, very, very long gratitude.
He finally converted to the person she knew he was all along.
Now all she needs to do is force heal him, and he force heals
Go
her.
back for forever.
Bam, chicka, wah, wah, chicka, wah, wah.
No. Fair.
Understandable.
Disney's like, there's your representation. Are you happy?
And then him and Mos Kanata kiss.
General.
Then they kiss.
Bro. What's up, friend? We're straight. We'd never have gay characters in a movie. Then we can't sell it to China.
You're telling me C-3PO's not gay?
And then C-3PO goes, the Sith Wayfinder is at the Exegol system.
What about you, kid?
Where we be?
I don't know.
Well, let's find out.
Oh.
There are two ways to interpret that. He is her father, he is her daddy.
I think that let's find out is let's have R2 analyze our DNA.
Oh, fun ride.
I wonder if the skeletons are still upstairs.
Does she bullseye Womp Rats at her T-16?
Where is the green lightsaber?
I'm Ray.
Ray who?
Palpatine.
Why the fuck do you care?
I guess family name matters a lot in Star Wars.
It really didn't, though. It only mattered in Empire during the twist, and that's it.
Solo. Whatever the fuck Finn's last name is.
2187.
Ray 2187.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. 4 people wrote this movie.
This is my favorite in the trilogy. I know it's probably bad.
It's kinda also probably mine.
It's so much fun.
It's definitely not mine. It's got some issues with that.
It's
I
just
hate.
so much fun.
I gotta
It's
give
fun
it.
as fuck, yeah, but it some of it just.
I gotta give it another 8. I think they're all 8s across the board. I just slightly prefer some to
One's a
others.
7, one's an 8. This one, it's episode 9.
Oh wow.
I really like this movie.
It is
It's a
pretty
lot
solid.
of fun.
I'm gonna give this movie a 7.
I don't understand why people hate them. I understand the qualms and problems that people have with some of them, but I don't think it detracts from the movies at any point. Yeah, there are negatives, so you can still enjoy the positives even if there are negatives.
I agree. I think I have a lot of qualms with this movie, and it does some things that I really don't agree with, but at the end of the day, it's very fun, and it feels the most like Star Wars
I agree.
of the trilogy, in my personal opinion, and that's what really matters to me the most above all, is if something feels like Star Wars. My biggest gripe with Episode 8, even though I think thematically it's on point, is that there are a lot of scenes in Episode 8 that just don't feel like Star Wars.
I agree.
If it weren't so compelling of the villain character of Kylo and Rey the protagonist, if their dynamic and the way that was handled in these 3 movies, if that wasn't as good as it is, these are average movies.
Yeah, I agree. I think if Rey and Kylo weren't so amazingly consistent throughout, these movies wouldn't be good.
They are fantastic, and they carry these 3 movies together as a duo without sharing a whole lot of screen time until the end.
Yep.
It's really powerful the way that a lot of these characters are handled. I think what really shines above all else is the characters and how well most of them are handled. I try and do this with all movies that I watch. If you took someone who somehow has never heard of anything in pop culture and you showed them these 3 movies do you think that they'd go, wow, what a great solid trilogy? Or would they go, wow, why did that change so much?
I think they'd go, wow, why did that change so much?
Mm-hmm. Do you think that without the knowledge of director changes and shit like that, you're lost?
They'd just be like, what the fuck's happening? Like, this doesn't make any...
Why does this movie not feel like the last one?
Exactly. There's just something I can't put into words. I don't have the right vocabulary for it, but there's just something that shifts in these movies, 7 to 8 to 9, that just...
I think it's the director's style. I think we touched on it.
But even then, I feel like 7 and 9 are still pretty distinctly different, even though they're the same director.
But they do have that... We talked... I said rule of cool a lot during this movie because it...
Oh yeah, there's a lot of rule of cool scenes.
7 has a couple of those still, but 8 is more like character payoff and trying to have character moments and trying to build up more.
Well, I think one of the reasons why it's my favorite, this one of the trilogy, is that it Doctor Sleep 7 and 8 together into one sequel. And I think it takes the best parts of 7 and 8 and mixes them into one movie. Yeah. And that's why I like this one better than both of the other ones. I used to, even coming out of the theater of this one, I used to still say Force Awakens was my favorite. Yeah. Rewatching it and comparing it to this
is way more fun.
This one's way more satisfying than Force Awakens.
Yeah. Force Awakens, I don't really feel like much happens in it.
I know.
You know?
It felt, and that's not a criticism of it. It's just
it's a good movie. It's just very...
It's good. It's just, there's not a lot...
It's a lot of setup.
Yeah.
And this one is, like, power-packed with a lot of really exciting sequences.
Dude, how fast did this movie go by?
Yeah.
Very.
Like, okay, this is the second shortest one. I felt like it was shorter than Episode 7, by a while. And it definitely felt shorter than 8.
Well, it is.
What's the best Star Wars movie? What's the worst Star Wars movie? It's the animated
Clone Wars is the worst one.
And
this one's probably Empire.
I'd say Empire's the best one.
Empire or Last Jedi for me.
It's not even a debate. It's just
it's Empire.
kind of...
That's fine. It's
I
up
think
in
Empire's
the air.
Almost a perfect
It's
movie.
up in the air for me. I'm not sure.
Fair. But
I think Empire's almost a perfect movie. I have no qualms with it.
And ready to take Clone Wars out of it, we all say that Attack
of the Clones
is the worst one.
Holy shit.
Not even fucking close. It's a 0.
It's
very bad.
Oh. That one has the sand line, right?
It does.
Yes, it does. Okay, just make it sure.
Do not fear their feeble attack, my faithful.
Nothing will stop the